What is up? It's your boy the Canologist. We're back with another episode of Code Study Sesh and OSRS AFK training. We're looking at different ways to kind of port the logic for the validate chirp into the create chirp, which makes sense. It's now all in here. Probably close this window. Now we could just look at the code for handler create chirp. It does mention here that we need to, let's continue. So I asked Boots the question and pasted my handler. Good instincts, gaps. In handler, what are you decoding JSON from? Should new decoder read from R body or P body? R body or P body? R body or P? Yeah, R body. For sure. This is the request I want to decode. And then place that into P. P is where I store the data I'm decoding. You define P parameters, later reference params body. Where, oh yeah. P. Let's see, where's params? What happens after you build clean body? Do you need to store it to create a DB record? Yes, technically yes. I need to create some sort of response, like user response struct. Email string, create time. Technically, I could just modify user response, but it's not a user, it's a chirp. Your handler is a free function, but you register API handler chirp. This is why I gotta. Right now, it says it's a free function, so let's just tackle parts of this. Let's just point it to API CFG. Point it to API config, which is the global variable up top here. Platform queries string. Insert the chirp with a clean body. Like user response. So I'm going to be like chirp response is chirp response. And then I could go because user response already maps this up here, so I could go chirp and then I could technically then do that because this is calling from there, so I could create a mapping up top as a generic structure and then just call it. That works too, actually. I could do that. Because let's look at what we need to put in the body here. It tells you if the chirp is valid, you should save it in the database with, and this creates a database record. So I need to create some sort of object. So I'll go type chirp response struct ID created at updated at body user ID. created at created, updated that body. So non-null timestamp, non-null. I'll have to create a database item for this. Union up-down migration for this table, which is fine. I'll just follow the same things I did for users. But one sec, let's create the body. This could be body. A non-null string. Okay, so pretty much this, and then this is going to be and then this is going to be body. I'm out of thing. Bars. I need more bars. But you guys get the drift of what I'm trying to do here, which is essentially just like mimic what I'm doing with users, but for chirps with the validate logic that my previous lesson had with validate chirps. Okay, so we just follow the instructions, honestly, but user ID, let's figure that out. So now this is like a generic structure that I can use. The same way I did for users, user response. This will be chirp response. And here I take the params, do all this shit to it, take all the stuff from here and then place it in there. ID string. Because this goes to the actual query, so it's going to the database create user. I'm going to do a create chirp, which is kind of similar. It should reference the ID of the user created chirp and on delete cascade, which will cause the user's chirps to be deleted if the user is deleted. Yeah, because cascade, you want it to basically cascade, which means a ripple effect down the road. So if A, then B, then C, right? So if I delete A, then B gets deleted, then C by default, right? Because you're following the cascade. use a response. Chirp response. Now I could just call out these and then fill it. So all these things I'll take. Like ID created that, updated that, I could take word for word. And I will do that here. The music's gone quiet, so I'm probably out of bars. Yep. And that's how I know I'm out of bars. I just do this. So I'm right now preparing my object, but I haven't done anything on the back end for it to create records or fetch records. So I'll have to create an actual database table for the chirps that I plan to send. I was just starting here first because this is the easiest to manage. So UID string, created that, updated that. Let's see, body. And then I'll put the clean body in here. What's the ID? Body user ID. So it's going to be p dot user ID, because basically it's going to just extract everything from here, from our body, and put it in this p variable. So p is going to get user ID. So this will be p dot body, and this will be p dot user ID. This is pretty much the mapped output. And then instead of U, it's going to be P. Because I'm pretty sure U's just got a body. I'm going to do 2 terminals. Well, I'm already in the training folder, so let's go ls. So now I'm in the Chirpy server. PWD, then I just go this copy, CD, paste. Now I'm directly in there. I don't have to CD and ls for this. Looks like now I have everything here. I just need to set it up with a migration. So the schema is basically this, up, down. New file 002. Chirps. Let's try that. Let's copy this. ID created that, updated that. So this is gonna be called chirps. Chirps. Created, updated that email. So no, we're not gonna use email. I'm gonna use body. Text not null. And then user ID. Let's save this for now. And then let's start here with the file. You're close. Last, let's zero in on the handler. Your chirps response is being built from P. Yes, but P is just the input JSON, where the ID created at, updated at. Where will these come from? Should these be coming from the DB insert result instead? Do you already have an insert method in the database? If so, which of these parameters does it expect clean body? Okay, so an internal database. Do you have a similar SQLC generated insert for chirps? Until those exist, your handler can't populate. Create that, update that, next steps. I started with the schema created chirps.sql the same way as users. Nice start, couple of guiding questions. Okay. Where will you store each user? Which user authored a chip? Should there be a user ID column that references user ID? Yes, there should. Okay, we're at 22 minutes. User ID, UUID. Not null reference. Not null reference user ID on delete cascade. Okay, I wouldn't have known to do that, so let's do that. Drop table chirps. Add commas between the columns. Some Excel dudes probably be like, why does it have so many commas? But okay, foreign key while referencing user's ID on a thing. Consider defaults like now. I'll take that. Next, add the insert query and regenerate SQLC. So now we're pretty much pulling. ID created, updated at body. User ID. A few quick fixes. Okay, so chirps body user ID. Okay, that's all the same. Values is $1.2. Okay, let's try this now. Listed 5 but only provided 2. Oh, chirps. Insert into chirps. And we get all this data from there. Install SQLC Mac. If I can at least do a regenerate, that's part of it. Nice, so it looks like I created this. Now the chirps item gets created here. But we will probably have to continue this in the next episode because we're near half an hour. So stay tuned. We will be back. Like, comment, subscribe. Leave your opinions and suggestions below. Peace.